In this video, I'm going to be teaching you how to get better at Harbor Havoc and use stuff. I'm going to be pretending that you're like a complete beginner, so I'm going to be teaching the basics as well. You first have to get in. This is your speed bar. You can move it up and down. For mobile players, you use your fingers. For normal PC players, you can also use W and S. And then you can use your mouse. If you move it here and you click, it'll point that way. So then if we click here, and also if you hold click, you can just turn it like this. You can turn your plane much better. And that's also how you go up and down. See? This is your fuel. You eventually run out of it, but you can resupply all of these stats. This is your health, and that's your ammo. You can resupply all of these at island spawns and harbor and boats. First, to take off, you point straight, and then you hold W. I'd suggest zooming into first person, because it's easier to control your plane in first person than it is in third. Like, you can see much more in third person, and you can turn pretty well. But first person is also a lot better to aim. Now, this is how you control with mouse, but you can also control with just keyboards. To do that, here, you can press W, or you can press E. You can use A and D to steer sideways. And then you can press E to go up, and S to go down. The main advantages of using keyboard over mouse, even though it's harder to control, is that you can go upside down. Normally you can't really go upside down. Like if I tried with my mouse, you can't go upside down. You can't do it like that. So the main way to go upside down is that you spin your plane around. But yeah. And also you can just do like, cool. You can just do tricks better with, with keyboard. But, I'd usually be using mouse in first person. For aiming, to shoot, you can press F or click this button. So I'd use F because, of course, you're controlling with your mouse. So you can, like, shoot. The bullets don't do much damage against, like, real structures, but they're pretty good against planes and small boats. Also, to land, you don't need to land. You can just jump out like that. But remember that when you jump out, the momentum doesn't keep going with you when you jump out, so be careful, because you could miss the island and jump into the water. Now I'm gonna get a bomber. Also, the 2-seat bomber is the same as the bomber, except it has more health, more ammo, more bombs, and it's also 2-seat. This is, when you get 2-seater planes, you've got this thing, access, which means if somebody else wants to go in to your plane as a passenger, you can limit them to nobody can go into passenger, or friends can go into passenger. Now usually with this, since you can't control that gun down there as driver, you want it always to all. Because if somebody gets in there, that's just extra firepower for you. Bombers are also slower, but they have more health. They only shoot one, line of bullets. And a common mistake that I see is people use bombers for, for dogfighting. But they're not really great. The best plane for dogfighting is the basic gunner. This isn't great because it has a big hitbox. The only reason you might want this is because of the 2-seater feature and because of bombing, which it has. To bomb, or to use bombs. It might be easier in third person also to use bombs, because you can aim them pretty well. Like, see, that's gonna hit the island. And remember, bombs keep, you know, like, so if you want to drop it now, like, I dropped it over the thing, but, yeah. You can drop it now, yeah. The bombs actually keep their, you know, speed. So, like, you can do that. The best angle, probably, for hitting bombs is, like, this angle. So you can, like, kind of control. Resupplying, it's like that. And then it just got resupplied by this here. You can see that it resupplies everything here. So let's say we just come in for a landing here. Landings, also, you don't really have to be perfect. Like, look, if it like takes a while to resupply, but it like, islands are pretty fast. Harbor resupplies immediately. Carriers resupply twice as fast as islands. When you're beginning the game, you probably want to do, it'll get you a lot of score, is either A, going around and fighting planes, or B, going to, like, bomb, you know, stuff like islands. The only boats that are worth it are the medium boats. The first one that you want to save up for is the destroyer or the cruiser. Cruiser, I don't know how much that costs. The heavy cruiser I don't really like. It's a bit annoying. I usually use the battle cruiser because I like where all the placements are and it has the most health. Yeah, cruiser was the first boat that I got anyways. Yeah. Anyways, the heavy cruiser is basically a battleship, but you can spawn it at islands. You always want it set to none or friends, because a lot of people in the server aren't very good at the game. And as you can see, you control basically everything. You can't control that back there. So the first thing you want to do, usually when you drive a boat, a lot of planes come towards you, because most people use planes. So this is like driving mode. And then you can press F and you're into the anti-aircraft mode. And then R for rockets. A lot of people like aiming rockets by pressing the rocket button, and then they press the F button so that they can aim their rockets with anti-aircraft. It's a bit annoying, and I just like the back rocket because, like, this little angle here that you can get, but it's a lot better with rockets. It doesn't make them go through stuff, but it's also a bit harder to see. Like, there's this one pole here that, like, the rockets just explode on it. If you hit the ship or the, you know, the pole, it goes through like this. But it doesn't go through the house that you're in, like this part here. These are rocket turrets. Those are anti-aircraft turrets. And these are guided missile turrets, which they all shoot like this. This is like the guided missile. Does, I think, 1500 damage. But, like, it just explodes and, yeah. It's really useful if you're on a ship with a lot of people. You can steer it towards somebody, and if you blow it up near someone, they, like, die. So, it's useful that way. I keep it on friends. The only time you want it set to all is when you're approaching an island, because you want everybody to get on the boat and go jump off at the island. If any planes are coming at you from behind, you can spin your ship. And like this. This is how I do it. So that way, you know, there won't be planes coming from behind. You can turn and you can just take them out. Planes coming from above, you can't really do much. As you can see, you can't aim the AA guns straight up. Now I'd set it to all. Around now. I'd continue driving around and trying to, like, hit people on the islands. Well, usually the island would be captured by red, so I'd take it out first. So I'd take out the island, so the island was out. Now I'd, like, park here. I'd either park here, or, like, along here. Parking the boat is really useful, and it matters a lot. Some maps, you can actually, like, hit the boat. So now that I've set it to all, everybody can get here. Just go like that. And then this is where you get player PvP. Which is basically, when you have your AK out, you want to go into first person. Shift lock also works. Kind of, yeah. It's not the best, but I guess you can get more field of vision. I like using first person, and you can press shift lock in first person to get like a different crosshair. So usually you want to go here. You want to usually be jumping. Once you've finished all the bullets here, wait for the reload sound and then switch. And then it'll be reloaded in your offhand when you hear the click. Also, this is automatic, but the pistol isn't. You have to click every shot. You can't just hold. The battleship. I'd be like, I'm aiming also by steering the ship. It's another way to aim. So you never want to be too close to the harbor because they've got like guns in the lookout towers and like AA guns. They aren't very fortified, but yeah. On some maps, usually the side is best. For some maps, to hide from the turrets here. I think on this map, you can go around the back. Yep, you can. A lot of maps are broken that way. Also, you can like stay here, and the turrets can't hit you from here. But they definitely can't hit you from back here, so if you get back here, there's nothing they can do. People target the cockpit with bombs, so that way, you know, you die, and then you can't control the boat. And then you win. You get, interesting. You get, money from this, you know. Money. I got 199 for a 12,500 score. I'm not very sure about, like, the proportion of score to coin. You can always switch teams by pressing back. So, like, let's say I reset character. You can press back, and as long as you can switch to blue as long as there's not enough people. The player things, they count as, like, this is level 100s, I think. Or level 50s and above count as, like, 2 players. Level 1s count as, like, half a player. Level 5s or 10s count as 1 normal player. And then, like, I think 100s count as 3 players. 100 and above. So, yeah. Now, you may be asking yourself, how do you get so good? Well, the main way to get so good is to practice. Yeah. So, if you practice and play a lot, you're automatically, you're gonna get better at the game, and you're also gonna unlock more stuff. Making decisions is a very important part of the game. So, there's 2 ways. You can either be aggressive, quick, get like this, which is very fast, but it's gonna cost a lot of tokens, and then you might not be able to, like, spawn something else if it dies. Or you could be like a, you know, a passive player who, like, takes this, you make a fleet at harbor, and you slowly go and take back all the islands, and you win. Usually, you know, the aggressive sometimes pays off, but, like, playing defensive is pretty good. Like, if you're chasing a boat back to harbor, if you see a boat and it's going for harbor, you need to spawn at harbor to get a boat and destroy it. Instead of going to Island A and trying to cut it off, because that's very hard to do.